Hello YouTube, it's Atticus. Hope everybody's doing okay, and I hope I got this thing fixed. It's Atticus, and I'm back with you with a replay with WickD. He's a really cool guy. I met him. I think he does something with tournaments. He's has really active presence on Discord, and he's a really good guy, really talented opponent. So yeah, we just happened to meet or find each other on a random quick match battle, or not quick match, but a multiplayer battle, and and this was a great game. This was actually really good, and for one, I wanted to show you a really good Dwarven defense and army that my opponent WickD here brought, and I wanted to show you kind of a cool different build that I brought, something you don't really see a lot when you're fighting the Dwarfs. One of the things I really like about WickD's army, though, is his formation, which I'll get into here, shortly when we talk about that. But let's go ahead and look at the builds, guys. For my build, I took a land-based lord. I took Citra the Perishable, and the reason I did that was for the armor piercing, pretty much. I figured he would have a lot of anti-large options or a lot of missile play, so I wanted a small target that both had a shield and would have armor piercing. And since the Tomb King doesn't have armor piercing when he's on foot, Citra was the only logical option that I had. For my front line, I just have Skeleton Warriors, guys. So you just bring 5 units of Skeleton Warriors. You're going really cheap. So you're probably wondering, well, how's that gonna, hold up against dwarves of all their armor? Well, right here, guys, Tomb Scorpions. So I got a total of 3 Tomb Scorpions. I have one here in Deep Vanguard, and these 2 right here, and these are going to be assisting the Skeleton Warriors. Now, the biggest threat to this kind of army is range. Inevitably dwarves will bring a lot of missile play, so you need to be able to shut that down. And if you do, these things will just rampage his lines. A lot of times, dwarves won't bring a lot of slayers. They might bring 1 or 2 units. So if you can isolate those guys and allow your Tomb Scorpions just to deal with the infantry, well, then you can win the fight. But what really makes this build unique, guys, is these right here. And even WickD said he was kind of surprised. He was interested by the build, or the thought behind it was Necropolis Knights, and these are the regular size ones. They're not the anti-large one. These ones have poison attacks. They have shields, as you can see right here, and yeah, these guys are just really good armor piercing beast. They excel at a lot of things. They have a lot of mass, good charge bonus, and they're really good at dealing with dwarves, I find, because of one reason, they have a lot of mobility and mass to pull through their units. For 2, the poison will slow down an already slow race. And for 3, look at that weapon strength, 55. It's not in the skull fat. So I also have 3 units of carrion, and this was one of the big mistakes in my game, guys. You can see right here that I send them in a little bit too premature, but let's go ahead and slow it down so I don't miss anything. So now let's look at WickD's build here, guys. And WickD brought for his lord a Rune Lord, which is a pretty competitive pick here. He has a front line of just miners of blasting charges, and yeah, these guys are going to be perfect for dealing with my Skeleton Warriors. It's a really good defense option for the dwarves to be able to deal with the shaft units of the whatever army you're facing, and then you have your more powerful units to mop them up. He also has a whole crap load of Thunderers, and yeah, these guys are what's going to be the bane of my Tomb Scorpions if I can't find a way to shut them down. Mixed in, he has a couple Dwarf Warriors, and he has 2 Slayers, one being the Dragonback Slayers. He also has a Iron Drakes with the torpedoes, the anti-large variants. And yeah, just some more, Dwarf Warriors scattered out. He even has some Rangers of Grey Weapons. So, really large army, a lot of different options. But more interesting, or more importantly, what he did with this, look how scattered he is, he is, guys. Now, usually you'll see a lot of Dwarven players that will just do a very tight formation, trying to protect themselves from all different angles, but WickD went to a different approach on this, guys. What he's doing right here is he's going to force my army to have to separate for one to deal with him, and it's going to allow him, no matter where I go, he's always going to have a unit that can provide ranged overwatch. So I have 3 Tomb Scorpions. Say one goes here, one goes in the middle, one goes over here. He's going to have units right here that can shoot. He has this one unit right here that can cover here. He has these Rangers of Great Weapons that can cover here. Say this unit gets attacked, all of a sudden this Thunderer unit can provide overwatch. Being so scattered out, I can't get a surround on them, for 1. For 2, it forces me to thin out my numbers, and like I said, it allows him to provide overwatch, and it's just a really good build. You don't really see this a lot, as much as you would think so, or you would think in a Dwarven formation. So let's go ahead and start the battle here, guys. Right off the bat here, you can see that I'm trying to get my Tomb Scorpion into position, but yeah, he happened to Vanguard right here on the end, which is really unfortunate. And you can see that, yeah, my Tomb Scorpion is just going to start getting melted by those Thunderers, and there's nothing I can really do about it. He has these Slayers right here, and I don't want him trying to cut off, so I kind of overreact, guys. I had my Carrion here in Deep Vanguard, And I'm going to make the decision to land them in. And yeah, this was really stupid of me because I don't have anything to support. And there's still a large gap here before my army catches up to his main army. I think what my thinking was is that I wanted to shut them down enough to get my Tomb Scorpion out. But I needed those carrions, especially late game, because yeah, I'm not going to have anything besides my Necropolis Knights to try to deal with all that ranged Overwatch. Speaking of Necropolis Knights, you can see that my 2 units over here are starting to move into position. We're just trying to get a flank, but being so scattered out, that's another, what I was talking about, guys. It makes it really hard to get in formation or get into position here. And you can look just how quick these carrion are falling, guys, and that was such a devastating mistake. I really don't know what I was thinking. Our front lines are going to start to collide here. But yeah, you can see that Skeleton Warriors are going to start getting some blasting charges in the face. And yeah, this is going to be devastating, guys. I mean, look at it. There's one volley, almost half health. And all across the line right here, you're going to see the same thing. I do have this one unit of Necropolis Knights, and I was trying to... got hair in my mouth. I was trying to position them where I could get into the back line. But yeah, this is what I was talking about, guys. No matter where I go, ranged Overwatch. And you can see he's doing a really good job, almost like a football. I don't know much about the game, but those guys who make sure the running guys don't... you know what I'm saying? Like the protectors, or whatever they're called. They're staying with the ball. Over here, you can see that my 2 units of Necropolis Knights now have gotten around his little Dwarven warriors right here. And yeah, we're going to try to shut down these ranged. I'm going to have 1 unit go for the Rangers as Great Weapons, and I will get these guys into the Thunderers here shortly. Over here, I am going to cast a... U-shaped incantation of desiccation, but it was a waste. I only did it on a unit of miners. I kind of just got nervous. But yeah, over here in the main engagement, guys, you can see the Dwarf Warriors with Cetra and the Necropolis Knights. We're chewing through these Dwarf Warriors pretty quick. So yeah, we're doing a lot better than you might think with those units. We're able to hold the line. Over here, look how quick, guys, we were able to deal with those Rangers with great weapons. These Necropolis Knights are just so powerful, and we instantly almost shattered these guys, and then we're just going to collide onto these Thunderers as well. We're just trying to shut down all the the range options that my opponent has. But yeah, over on this right flank over here, guys, he just has so much range, and and Slayers. He has a lot of anti-large. I am going to get one of my units of Tomb Scorpions into these Thunderers. I'm forced to have to take the engagement, even though he has these Slayers providing Overwatch, just because if I don't, I'm just going to get melted down. Over here, you can see that we've taken out another unit of Thunderers. My Necropolis Knights are just yo-yoing back from, range unit to range unit. And yeah, over here in the front, guys, we're actually winning the main engagement. The Tomb Scorpion and the Necropolis Knights are just making quick work of all these, low-tier shaft Dwarven units that he does have. Over on this side, we're just trying to hold up some of these Dwarven Warriors and these Dragonback Slayers. I intercepted them with my Skeleton Warriors. I'm just trying to keep them away from my constructs. But yeah, over here you can see that we just have a big old mosh pit. There's a lot of units everywhere. But yeah, these miners are just being such a pain in the butt to me. And you're just destroying through my shaft units before I really have a chance to do a lot of damage. Over here, you can see the Necropolis Knights are still doing a lot of good damage. We have gotten to the Iron Drakes and some of these Thunders, and we're just trying to shut them down. We just really need to keep these guys from shooting at my constructs. They're the only really chance I have. I am going to cast that spell again, which lowers the melee attack and melee defense into this glob. Even though there was no Slayers, I just needed to get... I mean, he's been so scattered out. That's another good reason, another good reason to scatter out like that. It doesn't give a very good target for my magic. Over here, you can see that we've broken off a lot of his range units. But yeah, being so scattered out, I mean, look at this, guys. Even the units that come back from routing are going to be able to turn around and provide that Overwatch. And it's forcing me to take my Necropolis Knights, left, then right, left, then right. I'm going to get some of you Shopties right here. I'm just going to try to shut down these Thunderers, and I figured that they'd be able to support this Tomb Scorpion once they were done. So on this right flank, we're doing pretty good. And if you look at the balanced power, guys, now it's strongly in my favor. So somehow or some way, we've actually turned this, victory in my favor. I think mainly just because of how powerful the Necropolis Knights are in this matchup. And you can see, his range units are just getting destroyed. They don't last very long against Necropolis Knights, and he really needs to get these Slayers that he has assisting him. And they were getting blocked by the Skeleton Warriors for the longest. I think, if you look over here, he did pull them away finally. But yeah, we were able to, intercept the Dragonback Slayers, which was doing a lot of damage. Over here, you can see that these Shopti have dealt with these Thunderers, and now I'm going to run them in over here to these Dwarven Warriors. And yeah, one Tomb Scorpion holding up 3 units of Dwarf Warriors. That's a good trade. But yeah, he has Thunderers and Rangers of Great Weapons coming back. Balanced power is really strongly still in my favor. And at this point, guys, I was thinking, like, wow, this, actually, because I was trying to do some kind of a different build. I'm thinking to myself, like, yeah, this actually works. I can't act like I actually, had much confidence in it. But yeah, it was starting to work. We're getting some frame rate drops right here. I don't know why. Hopefully it goes away. But yeah, you can see right here, guys, we just have a really big mosh pit. My opponent still has his Rune Lord, who's been buffing up, his units throughout the fight. But yeah, he's definitely surrounded by some really powerful units. These Necropolis Knights are just chewing through all these low-tier Dwarven units. And if we look, where is his Slayers at? So he has 18 units of Slayers on this one right here. And I don't know where his Dragonback Slayers are. Over here, you can see these Necropolis Knights are escorting these Thunderers off the map, and yeah, it's just forcing me to have to just keep, I break them, I try to go assist the main army, and then, they turn around and start shooting again, which forces me to pull my units back. Over here, Cetra's going to get a really good explosion, and just trying to, buy my units time, and yeah, I mean, still, balance of power is really good in my favor. At this point, if you really look at it, I was thinking, like, okay, as long as I could keep these isolated Thunderers from coming back to the main fight, sacrificing this Tomb Scorpion and these Ushabtis, maybe, just maybe, I could win this middle, pocket. Since, for one, the Rune Lord's not going to beat Cetra one-on-one, and I've dealt with the Iron Drake torpedoes, and for two, his Slayer counts are really, really small. Yeah, he had a bunch of these shaft units, but there's not going to be, they're not going to be able to deal with the high armor of the Tomb Scorpion, even though miners do have armor piercing, I believe. But yeah, this is what I was talking about, guys, being so scattered out. You can see even these, small unit of 16 Thunderers is just going to be able to melt this Tomb Scorpion right here. And that is, really the key to success for my opponent right here. He just is doing really good about bringing his range units back, providing Overwatch, and he's just really playing the long con. Over here, you can see Cetra is doing, he's done a lot of damage to the opponent, but he's starting to take a little bit of damage, but I still have a few Necropolis Knights. They do cause fear. I wish they caused terror, but yeah, they do cause fear, so at least that is something that contributes to all these units breaking. But unfortunately, the Dawi are known for their high leadership, so they're not going to break as quickly as maybe like Greenskins would. Over here, you can see these Thunderers are starting to shoot into this Tomb Scorpion, who's having to make the long walk to try to shut him down. But once he gets into there, yeah, you can see it right there, he's going to send these Dawis to their early grave. Over here, though, my opponent has a total of maybe like 41 Thunderers that are going to be coming back into action here soon. But yeah, Cetra now is really heavily outnumbered. Man, I apologize for this lag, guys. Really hope this cast wasn't for nothing. I hope when I hit stop recording that it actually works, or I'm going to be really upset. So yeah, Cetra is starting to get trash canned, and you can see the balance of power now is really strong in my opponent's favor. Or not really strong, but it's starting to really bounce back. And this is when I was starting to kind of panic. I was thinking, oh man, he's bringing it back. He has all these Thunderers. I'm just a little bit too scattered out, and yeah, as soon as Cetra drops, I'm gonna have really big leadership problems. You can see my opponent, WickD, is bringing some Dwarven warriors back, and yeah, he's just starting to collapse all his remaining armies. He has all these ones coming back from the outskirts of the battle, and all I really have left on my side is one Tomb Scorpion that's about to collapse. Cetra, even though he's given as good as he could get in the battle, I mean, you can see he's trading really good. Dealing with all these low-tier Dawi and this one last Tomb Scorpion. And I was trying to rush him back to get into the main fight just because the Tomb Scorpion does cause terror. And I figured maybe I could get a terror bomb. If I could get these units to collide, I could send Cetra to shut down these missile units, even though their leadership is starting to break. But yeah, at this point, guys, I'm going to get army losses. So yeah, good game to WickD. This was such a close game. It was a lot of fun. You saw the balance of power was in my favor, but his really cool formation and the way he set his armies up really got him the win. So we'll go ahead and look at the in-screen breakdown and talk about some of the keys to my failure and keys for WickD's success. So, yeah, I mean, I kind of went over most of it, in the introduction, but, formation, guys. It's not always about unit composition, but it's also about how you place them in a battle. And I'd really like to challenge the idea of having these really strong, close-knit Dwarven formations that are really hard to penetrate. Yeah, that can work, especially against maybe like cavalry and things like that. But yeah, I mean, you saw the effectiveness of this Tomb King army. And as for mine, guys, I mean, the biggest mistake what cost me the game was being a little bit too eager with my my carrying. If I would have saved them till later in the game when he didn't have anything to support the Thunderers and then send them in, maybe my Necropolis Knights would have been able to last a lot longer. And then speaking about Necropolis Knights, guys, these guys were the real MVPs. They did so good. I haven't really played with them that much, but now that I have, they're going to be one of my go-tos in the Dwarven matchup. And I'm also curious what other matchups they're really good at. You don't really see them a lot, guys, but hopefully this match will convince you of their worth. So, alright guys, fingers crossed. I'm getting ready to hit the end record button that this doesn't crash. Please, please, please. And this is Atticus, and I'll see you next time. And good game to you, WickD. Alright guys, bye.